Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So the way we are going to recreate Paul Klee's double tent is by first drawing a vertical line in the middle of our A3 piece of paper like this. Make sure the line goes all the way through. And then we are going to draw a few horizontal lines like this. Doesn't have to be equal, but let's try and keep it as equal as possible. So the lines will be all the way down like this. Remember, after we add the verticals and the horizontal lines, we will be adding diagonal lines, and those lines will bring out the true nature of this recreation of Paul Klee's double tent. So for now, I know it looks very simple. It looks like, oh, we could just do it with any kind of lined paper, but obviously I would like for you to have a hands-on approach and do it completely by yourself. Try to keep the lines as uniform as possible. If not, it's fine, because we're going to color all of these lines in with different types of colors, inshallah. Okay, nearly done. Okay, so that's all of the horizontal lines taken care of. Now you're going to do 6 diagonal lines. Now the way to do that is, the first one you could probably start off from here all the way down till here like this. Okay, that's one. And then do another one like this. Now in the second one that you're going to do, make sure it is slightly higher. When you begin from here and you stop, the stopping point should be around a line higher or 2 lines higher than the previous one. Okay, so if I start from here, I'm going to finish off here, and if you look carefully, this line finished lower, whereas this line just stopped 2 lines above that. Okay, once you have done that, create another line over here. So this line can go from here all the way down till the bottom, so like this. Okay, now you're going to start with the other side. Now the other side, so that's 1 horizontal line, 2 horizontal line, 3 horizontal lines. So that's what he's talking about in the slide, where it's mentioned that you have to do 6 horizontal lines. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you might be thinking that why isn't that just one line? You will see in a moment why I'm not just making that into one line. So similarly on the other page, you can start off from this side here. Okay, and do a horizontal line. Okay, so we'll finish off here. So I start from here, finish off around here. Okay, Remember, it doesn't have to be exactly accurate, but you know, try to keep it as accurate as possible. So the next horizontal line we're going to do is going to start from, say, here, and it's going to go all the way down, and it's going to be around a line or two above the first one that we did. Okay, now if you look, now you can tell why I didn't call this one horizontal line, because this one is a separate line and this one is broken off from here and it is a separate horizontal line. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now for the other horizontal line, which will be done here. Okay, we go all the way down here. If you look, they are separate. So you got one horizontal line, two horizontal lines, three horizontal lines, 4, 5, and 6. Now what you're going to do is you're going to start coloring them in, inshallah, and I will mention how to do that by showing you myself, inshallah. Okay, and the next thing we will do is we will be playing around with colors. So if you see here, I've actually put blue, red, and yellow, which are the primary colors, yes? And then I've put white and black there because these two colors will create either a tint in the colors or a shade in the colors. If you remember and you look at the work that I have given, you will find that a tint or a shade can be created by adding either white or black. So now I will be coloring this, and the main purpose of the coloring will be to kind of experiment with the colors. So first I'm going to put, say, red along here. Then I'm going to add a bit of probably white to it to make it a slightly lighter shade. Then add more white to it to make it even more lighter. Then probably make this into yellow. Then like this I'm going to keep on blending colors until an effect is noticeable. So you will see what I'm talking about if you follow, inshallah. So first I'm going to wet my brush. Look, I'm doing it with acrylic paint because I mainly work with acrylic paint. However, you can use pencil, you can use watercolor, you can use any form of medium you're comfortable with to create this collection of colors which give you an understanding of how diverse they can be, inshallah. So first I'm going to start off with red. Okay, I've got a bit of red, and say I'm going to be starting off here. Okay, so all along here I'm going to put a deep red. Okay, right, it doesn't have to be exactly accurate. Okay, and say for example I want to put a bit of red over here. Okay, there we go. There's some red for that space here. Oops, let's just make sure it's all inside the line. Okay, if you look, I'm not making it so accurate where the lines are really straight. I'm just placing the color there because other colors will cover up those sides, inshallah. Now that I have used red, I will probably make it a bit lighter by adding some yellow. So let's add some yellow and red. Okay, and I'll place it here. If you look, it's a bit more lighter. Okay, and I'll put some here as well. It's a lighter shade of red. Okay, then probably I want to make it even more lighter, so I add more yellow to it. Okay, once I do that, if you see, right, it's a bit more lighter, right, some more yellow, and you know, I'll just keep on making it lighter and lighter and lighter, if you see. Okay, until there's a whole load of yellow there, more than the what do you call that, more than the red. I keep on going. See, if you look, it's noticeably much more lighter now on this side. Okay, and then I'll just give my brush a rinse because I want to make it quite yellow now. So I'll just get yellow, okay, and I'll probably put the yellow up here. Okay, the reason why I did that is because I want the color in between to be a mixture of yellow and a bit of red. So see, look here, I just added a bit more red to that yellow, and it's become a mixture. So likewise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the whole thing in different colors. So now that I've used up say red here, I will be making that into some form of purple. Okay, oops, all right, that came out a bit odd because there, lovely, very nice, very nice. So say for example I want to move it towards that direction, so I'll put the purple down here, or whatever color that came out to be. It's quite dark. Okay, and I'll put that same color around here. So if you see, it's a mixture between red and purple. It's got a more purplish tinge to it, but obviously because I added some blue and yellow, so that made it into green, and then I added some more other colors and changed it into a whole other type of color. But there's nothing to worry about because you are experimenting with colors here. Okay, then I'll just rinse my paintbrush, right, because I want to slowly shift. I want to slowly shift into that purple. So I'll probably make this red into a reddish purple. Then I'll add a bit more purple to it, so that by the time that red mixes and comes to this color, it's already merging into it, and you can see a beautiful graduation in the color. Now towards the bottom, I'm going to add a bit of shade, which means I'm going to be adding a bit of black. Okay, so a bit of black. Remember, black is a very dark color, so you don't want to add a whole load of it. A little bit is fine, right? So let's take it like this. So because this is really dark, I'll put the darkest part at the bottom here. So if you see, it's very dark. Okay, put a darker shade, say around here. Okay, if you see here, look, it's quite darker than the purple that we did on top. Okay, right, now that's done. I want to make it lighter, so how would I do that? So I'll add a bit of white. Let's see if that works. Okay, okay, let's add the bit of white here, and by the looks of it, it's actually doing a really good job. So I'll make this a bit more lighter. Much better. And I'll put that here as well. Okay, so if you see, it's going to gradually turn into that. Then I add in a bit more of a darker color to that white and add it here. So if you look carefully, these colors have actually merged into one another, and you can see a gradation. There's a grade to it. It's not all the same color. It's slowly building up to these different colors. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to experiment with them. Don't worry about getting it exactly right. Remember, we are learning, but let's just have fun. Have fun with the colors. See where it takes us, because it's a journey actually, and everyone's journey doesn't stop at the same point. Everyone's journey continues in their own way, because everyone kind of learns different things in their journeys, and that's what we want to experiment with, learning different things. For example, look here, I added a bit of orange to it, and it's taken on a whole different kind of color. Then I've added a bit more yellow to this part, and if you see there, if you look carefully, there's a different kind of texture to this particular part. Right, so let's continue. Right, I don't know about you, but I'm actually really liking this. Right, so we got red here, and we want to bring it closer to this color. So we'll get a bit of red, okay, and I think that red's already got a bit of blue from before, so I just add a little bit more blue, and I'll just bring it along here, okay. Then I want to make it a bit more darker, so I'll add a slightly a bit more blue to make this part a bit more darker. Okay, if you see, look, it's not exactly accurate, but it's quite fun because you actually get to see how adding small bits of color can actually change the nature of something. So this is a bit too blue. I'm not touching on the blue as much yet, but let's see. Hopefully this works out. Okay, yep, I think that's okay. That's okay, I can live with that. There. Okay, so that's obviously one side done, and then you would want to move on to the other side. So since this part is a bit light, I don't want to really use this side of the brush, because it's got a whole load of color on it. So I'm just gonna quickly rinse it. Okay, I know you can't see what I'm rinsing, but it's actually this, so you can use whatever you want. Okay, so obviously we've got yellow there, and we'll probably want to change that yellow and make it a bit more darker now, and bring it closer to orange. So what I've done is I've got the yellow here, I've added a small amount of red. Let's see if it does the trick. Okay, well that's quite interesting. Okay, that's a bit too interesting. Right, then the next part could be a bit more darker than that. So let's see. If you're wondering what I'm mixing my paint on, well, it's just a plastic bag. I can't seem to find my palette at the moment, so I'll make do with whatever I've got. Right, so this is a bit too dark for my liking. So what I'll do is I'll just rinse my brush and see if I can fix that up by adding a bit of white. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but it's always worth a try. Oh, much better. Kind of like a peachy color now. Okay, and you can see it's blending into the next color. So I'll just put a slight amount of white on the next color, just so that you know, it looks uniform to an extent. Okay, so for those of you who don't know how to use the brushes yet, you can, if you got a flat brush, you can use the corner, this part of the brush, to make thinner strokes, and if you use the full brush like this, then you can make thick strokes. So that part of my painting is done. Now I would like to experiment with my blues and my yellows. So if you check the slides that I've provided, you'll notice that by mixing yellow and blue, you get green. Okay, so this is what we are going to mainly focus on now. So let's just do blue at first. Okay, I love blue. I really like the color blue. So don't know about you. Blue is still my favorite color. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Let's put that here, all the way up to here. Okay, and the next blue I'll probably put around here. Now you might be thinking, oh, how do we choose where to put it? Well, if you look at the painting that you've got of the double tent by Paul Klee, you will find that I've tried to copy what is there. So obviously you can do whatever kind of mixture you would like, but you know, try to stay as close to the original as possible. So now I've added a bit of yellow to the blue, and let's see what happens. Well, not a lot, only a small amount. So there, that's mashallah. There's, you know, it's actually kind of a mixture between blue and green, turquoise. Yes, mashallah. So let's move on. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Brilliant. Okay, and then I would like to add a bit more yellow. Okay, that's nice. And then a little bit more yellow. Okay, now that I've created this, I would like to make it slightly darker now. So I will add a bit more blue to that. Okay, let's see what that does. So a bit more blue should make it a bit more darker. Yes. And now I want to make it more dark, so I'll add a small amount of black. Now remember, black is a very, very dark color, so even a small amount of it will change your whole color that you have. So let's see what this does. So you know what, I think it will become a bit too dark, so I'll just put that on top. Yeah, good idea. I'll put this one on top, and now I just want to blend that in. So I would like to make that color slightly light by adding a bit of white to it. Let's see what that does. Okay, I think that's a nice color. So if you see, I'm not really following much of a guideline. I'm just going from light to dark, dark to light. I'm experimenting. I'm learning how each color combination turns out, how interesting it is when you add different colors and make other colors, and then you try to make those same colors either dark or light. So here I've got the blue. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually make that quite light. So I'm going to first make that blue into turquoise by adding blue and green. Okay, that came out quite watery. Another interesting thing about acrylic paint is that you can make it quite watery and with interesting effects. So let's see what this has done. Okay, so this is quite watery, but because I added green to the blue, it has a turquoise effect. Now I don't want to really add any more color to this brush because I think there's enough. All I have to do is just do another line at the bottom there. Okay, there, like this. And if you notice, it's slightly lighter than the one on top. Okay, now I would like to make this a bit more what do you call that? Let me just add a bit more here. Okay, now this color is fine. The next color I would like to make it slightly lighter, so I'm going to give it a tint. Okay, a tint there. By adding a bit of white, I gave it a slight tint. Okay, I'll add in a bit more white and see where that takes me. So that will give me very nice color there. Okay, and probably the next one would be just white, or whiter than before. So let's try that out there. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, that should do. Okay, don't worry if it's not fully accurate. I mean, we're all learning here. Just try to, you know, have fun. Right, now that that is done, now what am I going to do with that blue here? So this blue, I'll probably do it the opposite way to create more of an effect. And the way that I'll do that is I'll make that part become lighter and this part become darker. Okay, so I've rinsed my paintbrush, got rid of all the excess water, and now I will try to make this turn into probably grades of turquoise, green, yellow, probably, then finish off by making that white. So let's see how that works out. So I've got blue here. Now with that blue, I'll just get a bit of blue and add in a small amount of yellow. Okay, let's see what that does. I'll do it here. Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, now I'll add a bit more yellow. And a bit more yellow. Like that, I'm going to carry on adding yellow just so that it becomes green, and then it goes lighter and lighter and lighter until I've got more yellow on the brush than I've got green. And that's where I want to ultimately take this to, where it will look more yellow. So if you look here, as I'm painting, it's going lighter. Okay. All right, that's enough with the green. So I'll just wash my brush. Okay, and go on full yellow. So full yellow. Okay, actually not full yellow. I'll put a bit of green to it. So here is your yellow with a small amount of green. Here's more yellow with less green. Okay, and then I'll do complete yellow. Okay, now what I want you to do here is I want to make that lighter. So the way I'll do that is by adding a small amount of white to it. Okay, there, and then I'll just go full on white, or as white as it can be. So there. Okay, so if you look carefully now, you'll see that I've gradually moved from blue, turquoise, green, green yellow, different shades of green yellow, then to yellow. Then I've tinted the yellow by giving it white. Right, so now that I've done that, I wanted to make this part slightly darker. So what I'll do is I'll get the blue and I'll add in a bit of purple, right, and see how that goes. So, oh, that's nice. Okay, then I want to make this have a bit of shade to it, so I'll add a very tiny amount of black, because I told you black is a very dark color, and if you're not careful with it, it will actually take away all of the color that you've given and just change it into black. So there that is. I'll add a small amount of black again, right, and let's see if I can work this part in here. So don't worry if you don't get it completely right. The thing is, I've been making canvas for a while, so it seems like quite easy. It is easy, but don't worry if you don't get it right the first time. Okay, so let's see. There we go. Okay, and then this part I'll just make it full on black. So I'll use the tip of my brush and I'll just make this black. Okay, so that's quite a bit of it done actually. Now we're going to move on to these parts. So as you can see, all of it is based around you having fun with the colors, experimenting with the colors, seeing the different kind of shades, the tints, playing around with the primary colors, which are red, blue, and yellow, and then the secondary colors, which are a mixture of these. So if you mix blue and red, you get purple. If you mix what do you call that, red and yellow, you get orange, so on and so forth. And then you get the tertiary colors, which are mixtures between the secondary colors and the primary colors. So depending on which side it is leaning towards the most, you would either call it, for example, you'll call it let's see, orange red, or orange yellow, etc. So just by doing this, you kind of get an idea of how slight mixtures of colors will give you a whole different kind of effect. So now that I've done this, I think that's enough of a demonstration. So I want you to start doing it yourself, either by using pencils or watercolors or acrylic paint, whatever you feel like. But make sure you get the lines correct. So first you would do a vertical line in the center of your A3 piece of paper, and then you will do horizontal lines like this, okay, and fill up the whole paper. And then you will do diagonal lines. Now if you look at the beginning of the video, you'll understand that there will be 6. So 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3. I hope you all understand this, and please let me know if there's anything else that you would need help with. Jazakallah khairan wa ahsan al jaza.